That student was found in a pond. We have notified the family that that child is deceased. He's an 8-year-old that attends Bell's Crossing. We have spoke to the staff. Obviously, Dr. Royster's here. Our dive team recovered that student from the pond. They're still on scene here at the school being debriefed. A lot of law enforcement was here, a lot of resources were here. Counseling will be available, our wellness program and all those things are being put into place. This is truly a terrible situation, to be quite honest. The child ran out of school today and staff chased him. He got across the playground and got away from staff, and at some point, we don't know how or why, wound up in that pond. And this is a lot of broken hearts in the school and this community today. We want to thank this community that came out to help search for this young man. We had numerous volunteers to show up and try to help search the woods and try to locate him, and the media putting information out today to try to get it out in case someone had seen him. Certainly appreciate that. Numerous law enforcement agencies, Greenville County obviously, SLED, the FBI, Fountain Inn Police Department, Malden Police Department, Greenville City, all offered resources over here hoping to locate him safely quickly after we got the call, but unfortunately that was just not the case. So we do have some family to notify. We've taken care of that. The coroner's office is here now. So that's kind of where we are on the law enforcement end. I'll let Dr. Royster speak on obviously the school district.
Thanks, Sheriff. Words are just not sufficient to describe this tragedy. Our hearts, our prayers with this family, this community, with this school community, principal, staff, faculty here. We very much appreciate the rapid response of the Sheriff's Office, the emergency responders that came here, members of the community that helped search for this young man. We deployed a number of district resources here from various departments to assist in that search. And unfortunately, it came to a very tragic end. As we deal with this very tragic situation, we'll have counselors available here for the students in the school. We'll have counselors available here for our staff here. We'll have additional personnel from the district here, so tomorrow, if teachers or staff members need to step away, talk about this with someone trained to listen and to provide comfort for them, they'll be able to do so. We will provide every level of support that we can possibly provide to assist Mr. Ross, his faculty, and staff as they deal with this, again, very tragic situation. And anything that we can do to help them to move through this, we certainly stand ready to do that.
Any questions?
Sheriff, you mentioned that several staff members chased after him. At a certain point, did they lose sight of him? Did they follow him?
They did. He really kind of eluded them, if you will. He got over a fence and kind of got away from them before they could catch back up to him. There's some woods back behind the school. They immediately notified law enforcement, obviously, to come help, as well as school security personnel. Everybody kind of converged here, and that's when the search began.
Sheriff, can you talk about, or Dr. Royster, what was the child doing out there? Was this his normal playtime? Was this normal outside time? What was it?
I don't think, without getting into some specifics about, the child in particular, there's not much we can say about why kids do what they do, that we could really report to the public. I don't think that would be wise. I would just ask people to remember a very grieving family. His mother, we spoke to her. He's got some siblings, and the most important thing people can do, obviously, is to pray for the people of this school, pray for these other children that have to come back to school and learn of this tonight and tomorrow. Pray for the staff that has to come back to work, and certainly pray for that family, and pray for I would ask you pray for those law enforcement personnel that got in that pond and recovered his body. So it's a sad day.
Do we know exactly how far the pond was, how far he was able to get?
It's located off of Lennox Lake Drive. It's really directly behind the school through the woods in a subdivision there behind the home. So it's really not very far at all, I don't think, but I don't know the exact footage or measurements for that.
Sheriff, you had a lot of people, not necessarily only law enforcement, but people, concerned people driving around trying to help find this boy. What does that say to you, the district, and the school?
Well, I think everybody knows we live in the greatest place on earth. This is where people come together, not knowing this was going to turn out as tragic as it is, but knowing a child was lost. People came out here to help look. They put feet on the ground. They were here with water for deputies. They were here to help the school. They want to find this kid, put him back where he's supposed to be, and everybody move on with their day. And this happens all the time. This just happens to be certainly much more high profile because it's a tragic situation. We live in a great community that supports these children, want them to get a good, safe education, and certainly support the staff of all of our schools in Greenville County. And we're very fortunate to have a great relationship like we do with the school district that provides funds so we can have SROs in these schools throughout the county. So I don't think there's a better place to live, in my opinion.
Dr. Royster, I know a lot of parents are going to be wondering and asking themselves, how could something like this happen in the middle of the school day? It's a tragedy. Will there be any safety precautions moving forward when it comes to being outside for playtime, for recess?
Well, and I don't think we've yet established, as Sheriff Lewis indicated, not really yet to know all the details of how this began, but I'm not sure we can assume that the student was outside on the playground when he first left off the property. So anytime we have an incident where there could be injury, or in this case, unfortunately, the loss of life, but even if there's the possibility that something like that could happen coming out of any incident, after everything is investigated and we know all the circumstances of what happened, we look at all of our procedures, whether those are procedures related to preventing such an incident in the future or how we responded in the immediacy of the incident. In other words, our initial response here today, how we worked with law enforcement, other search and rescue personnel, and what we call aftercare, which would be those counselors that are here this afternoon with the faculty, will be here tomorrow with the faculty and with the students. We look at all of that from any incident that occurs on any one of our campuses. And quite honestly, when there are incidents that occur other places, the after action, if you will, reports that come about those, we look at those and compare what we do. What might we learn from that? How might we do better?
Sheriff, this sounds like a very unfortunate accident, but are any charges going to be filed or anything like that?
Not at this time. There's certainly no indication that would be the case.
And Principal Ross, just very, very broadly, how is your staff doing after this unimaginable loss?
We're devastated. We're devastated to lose one of our children. We need to bond together, to come together with the support of the district. Counselors, we're here for the family first and foremost, our students and our staff, as we all are grieving right now of this tragedy that we can't make sense over. Thank you. Just continue to keep us in your thoughts.
Everybody good?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you. So sorry for your
Just a heartbreaking update there from Greenville County Sheriff Hobart Lewis and school officials there in Greenville County, as well as we've learned the body of the 8-year-old boy Lionel Cervantes that authorities have been looking for since this morning was found this afternoon, and very sadly the child was found deceased.
A very emotional Sheriff Hobart Lewis said that there are a lot of broken hearts in the community tonight. He did say that a dive team recovered the student from the pond off Lennox Lake Drive. That's in a subdivision behind the school. And he said that the child, without wanting to give a great number of details about exactly how this happened because they're still investigating, but he did say that the child ran out of the school. Staff chased him immediately, but he apparently got away from them by going over a fence, and then that's when they lost sight of the child. They are notifying the family, and obviously a very, very emotional Dr. Burke Royster tonight too.
And just to reiterate, they said that staff made a great effort to try to go after the child. Our hearts go out to the families. We know the 8-year-old is a son. The mother was out, we were told, was out assisting with the search, trying to help find her son. We also know that the 8-year-old has siblings, so this is also a brother. You know, this is, he has family as well. So again, our hearts go out to all the families impacted, and again, just an emotional and tragic end to a search where so many agencies and departments came together to try to locate the child.
Superintendent of Schools Burke Royster saying words are not sufficient to describe this tragedy, but saying how much he appreciated the rapid response of the Greenville County Sheriff's Office, all of the people, numerous law enforcement agencies, in helping with the search. There will be counselors available for students and staff. Also, he said there'll be additional personnel from the school district so that staff can step away from their normal jobs tomorrow and they can get comfort and counseling. Also, we heard from the principal saying we are just devastated.
Just a heartbreaking update there. We will, of course, continue to bring you updates at home as new information comes into our newsroom.